Hello, it's Wednesday and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
We'll continue on with politics. Today our focus is going to be on the EFF.
Okay.
Julius was also on the ground this weekend campaigning. And he had a few interesting things to say about the grants and what Cyril Ramaphosa had to say about if the ANC lose power, then the grants will go as well.
Yeah.
So let's just check out this clip first.
Okay.
And then you tell me what you think.
If EFF gets into government, is going to take over SASA. You will no longer get your 350. You will no longer get your social grants. It's a lie. It's a pure lie. Tina, we are not going to stop the 350. We are going to pay you according to your qualification. If you don't have matric, uzothala nge 350. From matric upwards, 2,000. When you get your first degree, 5,000. When you get your honors, 6,000. Because we cannot be given 350 the same way. We who go to school must be paid. To go to school should mean money. Because they don't give you a job, they must give you money. And if they don't want to give you money, they must give you a job.
What are your thoughts?
Interesting. So firstly, I'm glad that he actually spoke to that thing where the ANC was like, oh, if the ANC is out of power, then you guys are not gonna get the 350s or whatever. I just thought it was a very unfair statement that they made. Like, you can't assume that grants will be taken away completely. So, and you to assume that another person can't do better or can't do the same, that what you can't even prove it because nobody else has been in power, apart from you guys. And then also, like, yeah, it's a really nice initiative that he's saying, like, it kind of incentivizes studying, I guess, and like progression in your life. Like, if I do this, then there's an incentive at the end of the day. And also, I like the fact that he does also mention that, if you're not going to give me money, give me a job. So it's either one of the two, you know what I'm saying? But people cannot be studying, getting qualifications, and just sit around and not do anything. That's very unfair. That just really, really speaks to the standard of living in that country, which things are just messed up.
I like this proposed idea. Like you said, it incentivizes people to study.
Absolutely.
And the more educated the population is, the better overall.
The better, absolutely.
And on top of that, it's all people are not going to get paid the same.
Yes.
Which is fair. It's fair. And
yeah.
he's using
what
education.
He's basing it on.
He's using education as the basis to
absolutely
to how people should get paid.
Yes.
And again, that also will incentivize people to get more educated.
He's taking away from other things that would use for like race or age or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so the whole 350 mess at the ANC, one, it's a very terrible idea because people who get paid 350 are still living below the poverty line. Like, if you get this grant, you're still in poverty. You're saying that if you're just unemployed but you're not educated, you will get 350 for now.
Yeah.
You get it. You still get it. We're not taking that away from you.
Yeah.
But for the people who have studied, for the people who have invested in themselves and cannot find a job, you will get paid accordingly. And yeah, it's a great initiative. I think it will help a lot of people, specifically those who have graduated and are struggling to find jobs, live above the poverty line.
Yeah.
Because if you're earning below 1.5 a month, you're basically living in poverty.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if you're earning less than 600 rand a month, you're living under food poverty. That means you can't even afford food. So 350 with ANC is like
rubbish.
It's nothing.
Yes.
People are still living within poverty.
Absolutely.
So it's a good initiative by Julius. I was just a bit skeptical about how this would be implemented.
Yeah.
This will require like raising of taxes to make it more.
Do you think so? Because if you think about it, we can't run away from the possibility that our current taxes are being misused in any case. So it's like, if you give the same amount to somebody else, maybe they might be able to do more with the same amount.
It's still like, if there's a couple million graduates and each of them are getting 5,000 a month,
that's a lot of money.
That's billions of rands a month. You just by being a graduate in South Africa, you automatically live above the poverty line. Yeah. Which is a good incentive for people to study. Yeah. And that's a good and having a more educated base is better. I was skeptical about that how is this going to be implemented? Because this is a lot of money we're talking about. And right now the government doesn't look like they have the facilities to make this kind of thing work. So Julius didn't go into that. He just promised a better grant system for people, which is good. I like that. And another thing is that, sure, fair, it's like, I get what you're doing, which is cool, but it still doesn't address like the main issue.
But I think he kind of, I think under his breath he was kind of speaking about that saying, but the aim is to obviously get jobs. But if you don't have the jobs, like, you can't leave people dry. I will assume that it's something that they are prioritizing over that, so that in the time being, while jobs are being created, people are not waiting.
So there's this balance that has to be made, because okay, for example, it's a good idea that, okay, a graduate will get paid like 5,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that will eliminate these jobs that require graduates to work for free, and these internships so graduates don't get paid much. And all they get is a stipend or whatever. That will eliminate those kind of jobs.
Yeah.
But there's also there could be an incentive there as well. So once I graduate, I don't need to work. There could be that incentive.
Yeah.
Because if there's a household of 4 graduates in there, that's 20 grand a month. None of them have to work after that.
But there are other economies, there are other countries, like, okay, hate to compare to more developed countries, but there are other economies that currently have the sort of system where certain things are kind of provided by the government, or like there's a certain amount people are given, particularly people who are not working, to like keep them living, and some people live off of that. I don't think it's entirely wrong of us to try and emulate those things, like, even though we're not quite.
But it's different there, because most of the people there are working. Here, most of us are not working anyway. So
but like, the aim is obviously to create jobs so people can work.
But I'm saying, if you're saying that, okay, all you gotta do is get a degree and then you don't have to work. Yeah. And most of the people are not working anyway.
Yeah.
And most of them already, like, a lot of them have degrees.
But let's be honest, like, people with degrees don't just want to earn 5,000 or 6,000. Like, you don't want to spend all of that time and all that effort into studying and like not. But it's like, it's just a matter of like, if I don't have a job, like right now, I don't want to be broke. I'm putting myself like, you don't. Like, I don't think anybody sits there and feels like, really? I just want to.
Do you really believe that?
But like, making the extra move of actually studying, what are you studying for?
To get the money so that you don't have to work. Do you understand that there are people out there that don't want to work?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, okay.
There's like, so that's what I'm afraid of, that it could incentivize a large amount of people to just get enough money.
So we already have a problem with the 350 situation. Of some people are okay with
people
not
are good with 350 and they're willing to vote in the same people just to get that 350. 5,000. If especially the youth, you know how the youth be. All they need is money just to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
And just to live at home. If they can stay at home and everyone else is there.
They don't need to aspire to. Some people don't even care about getting their own houses or things like that. As long as they stay at home.
By a negative side effect, it could increase dependence on the government, which is what we're trying to run away from.
It's one of those good things that can have bad consequences.
The only way, that's what I'm saying, the only way to negate this, because why would Umuntu now, after getting a matric and now they can earn like 2,000, go work at shop right now? Why would they do that?
But like, also on the other side of things, like, it might also force those companies to, I was going to say this before you mentioned that, like, that it's going to force those companies to stop ripping people off. And
there's all cheaper labor out there. Like, see, that's the thing, there's cheaper labor.
Now it will be increased.
The same is waiting, them Zimbabweans are waiting.
So technically what we're saying, like, minimum wage to companies must equal to
it must be
higher
far
than
greater.
the highest grant amount
Yes,
given.
it must be far greater than that.
Yes.
To incentivize people to work.
Yes.
Otherwise, people are just gonna have that with, I have my degree, I'm getting 5,000.
So we know that a lot of these companies are not going to do that.
Yes.
If we're already struggling with them paying current minimum wage, I have no idea how we're going to get them to pay a new.
That will increase. Yes, that will increase the amount of South Africans not willing to take minimum wage jobs, and then that will increase the influx of foreigners taking those jobs, and then that.
So what? Are South Africans now? Let's fast forward to this immersion. Now we're gonna have a whole lot of South Africans just willingly not working, and a whole lot of foreigners working.
Yes.
And
that's not good.
That's not good, definitely.
That is not good at all.
That's not good.
So it's all well and good to promise that, okay, we're gonna provide a better grant system, but you also need to take into consideration the effects of what this could entail. The immediate effect, when you think about it, is like really, I'm gonna incentivize people to study.
Yeah.
To further their studies and get paid more.
Yeah.
But the negative effects that you might not think about until it happens is that you could be incentivizing people to study just to get paid.
Absolutely.
And not to work.
And remember, the truth is people work because they have to in most cases, and not because they choose to.
Yes.
So now it's given the choice,
if I don't have to work.
Yeah, and we honestly don't. We are not at a place where we can afford to have a country of people not working. There's still a lot to develop in this country to do. We need the labor force. We
don't want it to be foreigners who dominate.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be very bad.
We're giving our power, basically. That's giving off our power.
It's a good system, but there could be negative side effects.
Yeah, they could be very negative.
That could make.
I mean, it really sounds really nice. Let's be honest. It really sounds. If I was in the crowd, I'd honestly be like, yes. But when you actually think about it, and the technicality and just everything that would go into doing it and what it can mess up and what, it's not as easy as that. So maybe we just need him to go into detail about it in time. I don't know, but yeah.
It reduces the amount of people living in poverty, which is great.
Yeah.
Because I just checked now, there's over half South Africans. I think it's 55% of South Africans are living in poverty. Over half of the country living in poverty. So a system like this would greatly reduce the poverty rate in South Africa, which is good. We need more people living above the poverty line. We need more people who are able just to live in the country and not starve and not struggle every day, which is good. And he's also incentivizing people to study, further their studies, and become more educated. And if you have a more educated population, that's good overall for the nation as a whole. But my main worries was how are you gonna do this? Because we don't have the money to do this right now. And then two, you could be incentivizing the youth specifically just to get the degree and not work. There could be that. But it is what it is. You guys let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like, subscribe,
and keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.
Because Ramaphosa is not a black person. He's just black outside and white inside. He loves white people more than he loves black people. Let the black nation of South Africa get an opportunity after 30 years